was afraid of my dad, and he drilled discipline into me. And I'll never forget, one day I was 12 years old. I saw a buddy of mine who was shorter than me, and he had these big arms, and he was talking to a really good looking girl. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, how is that even possible? Like, how are you so jacked? You're like 12. And so I go up to him like, bro, can you teach me to do like what you do? He's like, yeah, for sure. Like a week after, I go to his house and he teaches me how to do push-ups. He gave me like 3-pound dumbbells. I've worked with that. And once he taught me that, I bought this thing called the Perfect Push-Up. And they're just these little 2 handles where you just do push-ups. But the best thing about that, it had a calendar. So it had a calendar of what to do. Like, hey, day 1, day 2, day 3.
Wow.
And from there, I went to Colombia. And for the summer, for 3 months, I just followed this calendar. Every night, I would do push-ups and sit-ups, push-ups and sit-ups.
Wow.
And that just made me really just, I came back and my friends didn't recognize, like, wow, but like, you're 12, 13 years old now. I'm like, damn, but you got some arms, you have a little chest, you have some abs. Like, what happened to you? I'm like, I started working out, and that gave me my first taste of confidence.
Wow.
Really.
Well, I mean, there's a few things to unpack there. First of all, I love the fact that it was this calendar, because I'm obsessed with tracking things. I think that's like one of the missing things in most people's lives, like that structure of having like a calendar that it kind of forced you in a way or motivated you to kind of fill it out. So that was kind of like you said, that was a key, because if it wouldn't, the calendar would have come there, like maybe you wouldn't have. That was what
I would have some structure. No, I would be like, okay, what do I do with these? Like, I don't even know how to do this. It's like I don't know what to do on day 1, day 2. So it was a big thing for me.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. And I had another person on that also talked about the confidence that comes from having a great body and being that fit, as well as the discipline and all this. Because I think, and I'm speaking to myself, I was this type of guy that believed like, in terms of like girls, like, oh, it doesn't matter my body, like everything is like my charisma, like, because I've seen like really like ugly fat guys, like short, like with the hottest girls, like, so I was like, I don't need all that. And in those times in the seduction community and all this like pickup stuff, like they enforced a lot that idea, like that it doesn't matter any of that stuff. So I was like, doesn't matter at all. And then later I realized like it actually does matter. You can, get any girl you would want with, if you haven't seen charisma, but how you feel, you can't cheat yourself out of feeling like great if your body's not how you want it to be, right?
Can't ignore that. You can't ignore your conscience. When you look in the mirror, your conscience is telling you the truth. But you need to lose some weight. I need to lose this gut. I need to start working out.
Yeah.
I gotta stop eating like shit. And that's your true voice. That's your soul speaking to you. Hey, like, hey, man, like we need to really shape up. And we all have it. Every single one of us has it. And charisma's phenomenal. But one thing that I've noticed, I'm not that tall. I'm 5'7". And a lot of guys nowadays, they're short kings. A lot of guys on my TikTok, they have a good following. They're like, man, I'm not confident. I'm like, I'm 5'6", I'm 5'7". When they see me, they're like, oh my God, you inspire me. And I've never had a problem with my height, because once I got in shape, the next best thing that you can do as a man is learn how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
I got bullied a lot. I got picked on a lot when I was younger. And even home with my dad just was really rough with me.
Yeah.
And I just got tired of it until one of my buddies started teaching me how to box. And boxing taught me more confidence than ever, because it taught me to stand up for myself. Because working out is great, but it still doesn't stop people start picking on you.
Yeah.
But once I learned how to fight, my confidence went out this roof, because I felt like anyone tries anything with me, I can defend myself. And after I learned boxing, I did wrestling, I did jiu-jitsu, I got into my first street fight, I won, and I did sparring and boxing. I was like, man, like I'm a weapon now. Like I can walk into a room with 6-foot guys or a guy that's 200 pounds. I don't care. If we got into an altercation, at least I knew I could hold myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe when girls see you, it's first thing they notice is your appearance. Okay? When someone sees you with a good body, it's like, man, that guy has discipline.
And he cares for himself.
He cares for himself. He takes care of his body.
Yeah.
Like you say, these guys are like fat and things like that. But the first thing they say is, damn, this guy's fat. Or that he's got money or things like that. And so the first thing anyone's going to notice of you is this guy in shape. When they saw me, Yeah, I might be 5'7", but they also saw my six pack. This guy's got a six pack.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's have nice arms. The first thing girls was like, the first thing I noticed of you, other than this tattoo, is you have some nice arms. Because it makes you rare.
Yeah.
It makes you rare. I can't control my height. God made me 5'7". If he would have made me 6 foot, it would have been game over. But 5'7", I can control the way I speak. I can control what my career is. I can control how I look. I can control how I speak. That's under my control. My height isn't. Everything else, I can.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get into the discipline. Like discipline, one of the points that you mentioned is discipline is the key to all your goals. So can you speak a little bit about that?
In life, we can't do what we want and get what we want. Can't. It doesn't work that way. And a lot of people want to be able to, for example, get a good body, but they still want to find a way to eat the things they want. I really want to lose this body fat, but can I still have pizza? Can I still go out and eat here? Can I still go out and drink? Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work. And discipline is doing what you need to do, not what you want to do. And it's picking what you want later down in life versus what you want right now. It's that delayed gratification. And discipline is understanding your emotions. I'm not going to feel like doing this. But if you practice discipline every day, it does get easier because it becomes a habit. See, people try to force things. But when you can learn to build a habit, you don't have to think twice about it. And so if we can work on discipline, and the first place we can work on it is your wake-up time. That's the first place. Because waking up early is the hardest thing, one of the hardest things for human beings, for anybody, to leave such a pleasurable place and wake up earlier than what you have to. That's the first place you can start it. For the past 9 months, I've been waking up at 3. At 3 o'clock in the morning, 9 months, haven't missed a day. Since January 6th, haven't missed a day.
Even on the weekends?
Even on the weekends.
Wow.
Doesn't matter. Every single fucking day for the past 9 months. I started this January 6th. I tried for 5 days. Couldn't do it. The 6th day, the 5th night, that night, I said, fuck it. I'm waking up tomorrow. I don't give a fuck. And I did it. And I haven't looked back. There's days where I've had 2 hours of sleep, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Discipline is the key to everything in life.
I love that, man, because I've been starting to wake up at 4, and I think waking up early at a set time, no matter what, is the number one key to everything. That's when everything starts, right? Because I was obsessed with productivity and obsessed with all these things I want to do in life, but I was always give in to the sleep because it's I need to sleep at least X amount of hours, and
everyone says.
That messed up everything. That you wake up late, you start the day late, then the things come. But if you wake up early, it's those hours are precious. I woke up today at 4, exactly. So from 4, I had my first interview at 9. So from 4 to 9, it was just pure productive work time, uninterrupted. Nobody's coming. Nobody's, there's nobody awake at that time. So it's and now suddenly everything's starting to work out for me. It's wow, it all starts from the wake up time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You started realizing that, man, I can get so much more done. I have more time available to myself. I think that what people overlook is going to sleep earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That's where people mess up. People forget, because what time do you go to sleep? I go to sleep around 9:30, sometimes 10. But I make sure I go to bed early. Most people have not just a hard time waking up, but disciplining themselves to go to bed earlier, to shut everything off, stop fucking around, and just go to bed. But they'll scroll on their phone, they'll be going out with friends. That's the second step. If you want to wake up earlier, you have to go to sleep earlier. If I went to sleep every single night at 12, I'd be fucking myself. So that's where another point of discipline comes in. Saying no. No, I'm not going to go out. No, I'm not going to stay up. No, I'm not going to scroll on my phone. I'm going to go to bed now with the one thought of, I'm going to wake up early tomorrow.
Because it starts with the idea for me, no matter what, I have to wake up at 4. So that also forces me to sleep early, because it's if I'm sleeping late, then that means I'm just going to be really tired, because that first point that I'm going to wake up at 4, that's no matter what. So that's what makes you sleep early. So it all starts from there, right?
It starts from I have to, because if not, the consequences, I'm going to be tired. So it's almost a little bit of fear. It's and I don't think it's bad. I think it's damn, I don't want to fuck up my day tomorrow. So because I don't want to fuck up my day tomorrow, I'm going to make the right choice today. Does that make sense? It's the same thing with eating. I don't want to fuck up the way I feel tomorrow. So I'm going to make the harder choice right now. Put this shit down and actually make a good meal.
Exactly. So how does, so someone starts, step number one is the wake up time, controlling that, right? And then one thing that it's really messed me up for so many years was the weekend. Because it's like Monday to Friday, I'm on top of my stuff. And then the weekend is like the weekend, so I should relax because God told me that, So what do you think about the weekend? Like, how do you manage? I think the weekend is like it breaks the momentum of so many people. How do we manage the weekend with building the discipline?
So here's the thing. The weekend, there's a lot of fun distractions. A lot of fun, a lot of pleasure. A lot of people don't have a good relationship with pain and sacrifice. They don't like it. They don't look at pain as a good thing. They don't look at sacrificing as a good thing. They look at it as an obligation. And because of that, once the weekend comes, they just want to have fun. They just want to feel better. We're always chasing a feeling. So the weekend comes like, oh my God, I've had a long week. I've had this, like, I just want to go have fun. And ultimately what they're doing, they're escaping a reality. They're escaping their reality. They're taking these next 2-3 days to go live a life that they don't really live most of the time, that they only get to live once in a while. And so that's number one. Number two, I believe people don't really have a vision. They don't have a goal. They don't have something worth sacrificing a night out with their friends, sacrificing that food. They're just living like moment to moment. They don't see a better life. They don't see something beautiful that they're creating. Not going after, but they're creating. And it takes these days, because everyone's like, I'm bored, I don't know what to do. I'm like, look at your body. You're not in shape. Stick to your meals. Look at your bank account. It's not where you want it to be. Stay home, save money, and figure out a way to get your bank account better. But it's very hard for people to say no because they don't want to be outed. Because back in biological times, think about it. If you were not part of the pack and you were an outcast, you died. If you were not part of the pack, you would die on your own. So we still have that in us, like, I don't want to lose my friends. If I say no, like, I'm going to feel bad. Like, but in reality, are they really your friends if they're not helping you with your goals, pushing you forward? Are they your friends because they want to get drunk? No, they don't want to drink by themselves. They don't want to do something they know they should do by themselves. So they'll try to bring you out. And I thought the same thing. I live in a college town. I used to go out every single night. I moved here 3 years ago. And it wasn't until here where I first did cocaine. I did cocaine here because I'm like, damn, like, I was going out. I went through a breakup. I came here. My friends all went out. And it's fun. Bro, going out and drinking is fun. It's the next day and the next day that aren't fun. I'm not going to lie and tell you that it's not a good time hanging with your friends and drinking. I'm not going to lie, it is fun. But the regret wastes time. The fun is ounces, but the regret is tons because you never get ahead in life. And so people don't understand that it's okay to sacrifice. It's okay to say no to your friends. Because when you say no to that, you're saying yes to a different life. Meaning you're going to enjoy your life Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You don't have to just enjoy the weekend. And that's what I believe is so hard for people. That like you said, everyone's like, take a rest. So when you have 100 people telling you to take a rest and maybe one person not to, it's like, I don't want to be different because look at my friends,
Yeah. And there's a connection to goals, like you said, because I think a lot of people, they're told, like, have realistic goals, have smart goals. And that's where it starts, because if you have this quote unquote realistic, boring, unexciting goals, then you're not going to want to sacrifice anything. Like, it needs to be proportionate to the goal, right? So it's like, I always try to, like, make sure that I move my goal to the point where I start feeling the excitement. That's where it needs to be. It doesn't matter how big it is. It matters that it pushes you, and it's a justification for you to sacrifice other things for this huge vision. It has to be massive. It doesn't matter if you're going to get there halfway, 20%, whatever, but it does start with there. And I think a lot of people are too kind of skeptical, I don't know what's the word, but they're like, well, what's the chances of me becoming successful? Like, there's a lot of that kind of mentality, right?
It's like even with your goals, it's more so, I believe that it's more of a vision, and it's understanding sacrifice. because they feel like I'm young, I want to live now. Well, what else am I going to do right now? That's the thing. Because let's be honest, what are you to do if you're chasing a goal? Either do I go out with my friends, have a good time, laugh in the moment, long week. Oh, I really want to go out with my friends. I want to have a good time. Or do I stay home and do what? That's most people's thought process. What do I do when I'm home? I'm bored.
Yeah.
Like, I'm bored. I don't want to stay home. And that's because they don't have a plan of action. They don't have a vision, first of all. And so they don't have a plan. Well, what can I do today to actually make this vision come true? All they're thinking about is like, I just want to have fun. And I get it. Sometimes it can be repetitive. Sometimes not going out is the best thing to do. And sometimes just eating your meals and going to bed early. But they don't look at it as them progressing. They look at it as them having a boring life. Oh man, you're boring. Oh, come on, come out. But don't be so boring. So then they have that. Then you start looking around who your friends are. That's a big thing, man. Because it's the people you love, the people that care about you, the only people you really know. So you're really gonna turn them down and be alone? Most people don't like to be alone because they don't like the company they're with, which is themselves. Because that means now you have to face your problems. You can't just drink them away. You can't just feel better. Because when you're alone, you're dealing with everything that you've been putting away.
Exactly.
You're not drowning yourself. You're not making yourself feel better by drinking, because that's what people go out and do. When you drink, you feel better. But when you're alone and you have nothing else to do, now you start thinking about your life. And it doesn't always feel that way.
Exactly. And I think it's very underestimated how much fun it is to progress on your goals. Like when you have a vision and you start doing things like that, becomes so exciting, much more fun. It's a different kind of fun, but it's more.
Yes.
It's deeper and it's more satisfying because the human brain is designed to feel a pleasure when you're progressing, when you're going towards a goal. That's like science, right? Like,
yeah.
And it's your own goals, like obviously survival and reproduction, but it's also like when you choose a goal in your mind and you know that you're moving towards it, it's already been proven that the brain fires dopamine with your own created goals. So it's like when you start actually progressing and you start, building your own little business, you start, getting a little fit, like you suddenly are happy when before you weren't happy, and you were just happy when you were under the influence of something that was, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's the thing, and that's the beautiful thing about fitness. Fitness and business are a little bit different, but they're the same in different aspects. In fitness, you control a lot of the aspects, your macros, your food, your workouts. And so when you don't take steps backwards during the weekend and then you lose, say, 5 pounds, you're like, wow, I feel so much better. I look better. I can see it either on the mirror or on the scale. I'm like, let me keep this up. So progress, and when you see that progress with fitness, because you get on a plan, you stay consistent, you're going to see results. That's how it is. And I always say that depression comes from regression. When you're regressing in life, in your body, in your finances, in your relationships, you're going to feel depressed because you're not moving forward. But when we're moving forward in the moment, when you wake up and you're much fitter, you have more money in your bank account, you have a better relationship, you're happy because you're progressing.
Yeah.
And so when you're in the moment and you realize that, man, I'm making progress, like you said, I'm making progress, I'm happier. But when you see yourself not making progress, things aren't changing, what's the fastest way to change the way you feel? Is to go out and get a drink.
Yeah.
My bank account might not be good, my relationship's not that good, my body's not that good, but shit, give me 2-3 beers, I feel so much better about myself.
Yeah.
I feel so much better because it's so much easier to take down 3 beers than it is to eat right, to work harder, and to actually communicate or listen to your significant other.
Totally, 100%. So, okay, I have a little bullet points here. So, why is self-inflicted suffering important?
Because when you put yourself through hard things and you accomplish them, you have pride. When you wake up at 4, an hour or two later, you're like, man, I woke up at 4 today. I got to work out, and that's painful. Getting out of bed when you're tired, you're exhausted, that's painful. You're inflicting pain on yourself. And because you overcame that obstacle, you feel proud of yourself. Instead of going out to eat and eating this, you stayed home and you cooked a meal. And because you did that, you wake up the next day, you're like, man, I stuck to my meals. That's painful. When you went to the gym and you decided to work out, even though you're tired, you're pushing yourself through that pain. You come on like, man, I worked out today. Pleasure will never get us. Pleasure doesn't move us forward. Pleasure never moves you forward.
Never ever.
So if you want to consistently grow, consistently inflict pain. Always painful in your wake up time, painful in your workouts, painful in your dieting, painful in your business or in your job, whatever it might be. Because you're gonna feel pain either way. Either you drink and you feel pleasure right there, but then you'll feel pain the next day. You can't avoid it. So you might as well pick the pain that's actually gonna move you forward. The thing is, that pain is, you feel it first and then you get the gratification.
And I think a lot of people haven't associated in their brain the pain and with the progress and the good feeling, right?
Yes.
So that's the problem. You have to kind of force yourself at the beginning stages until your brain suddenly makes a click where it realizes that I don't want to avoid this type of pain. Like it, right?
Right. And that's why you have to get around somebody, and that's what I do with my coaching. That's why my coaches evolve. Like when I go to TikTok Live or I speak on my thing, I don't really just speak about nutrition and working out. I do, but if somebody, I need to get this right.
Yeah.
This right first. I needed to understand why we do this. Why do I wake up early? And this is why I lead by example. I show every morning at 3 a.m. I post on my story. 3 a.m. They don't see me miss. I'm not fucking missing. It's like, why does he not stop? Why does he not take a break on weekends? And when they see me, like, I'm positive. I look good. I have my gym. I have my dog. I'm living this lifestyle. I'm always high energy. They're like, how is he doing it? Well, my friend, look at all the sacrifice I'm making. Look at all the pain I'm going through. Look at everything I'm not doing that you are. And you're wondering why I live the way I live. Because it's a lot easier to talk about it, but to actually live it. That's why I love social media. I get to show you what I do every fucking day. And I'm going to show you that even though I wake up really early and I eat a certain way, I'm actually a lot happier than you who are constantly going out, not doing what you're supposed to be doing, pleasure chasing, and you're really not that happy.
Yeah. It's funny because happiness is like, I don't know, this thing that people are always chasing, but they're chasing it in the wrong ways and in the like short-term gratification, like you said. But sometimes people think, for example, I just remembered the yogis, like the yogis from India, that they were like ascetic, like they didn't have any pleasures at all in their life, right? Like they would basically starve themselves, like they didn't even look at women. And people would go with them and they're like, why are you renunciating all this pleasure from life? And they said, and what they responded to the person that asked is like, actually, the one that's sacrificing the pleasure is you, because I'm connecting to God and you are not. So I'm actually more happy and feeling more pleasure than you. I mean, that's an extreme example, right? But it's kind of the same principle, right? The same concept.
Yeah, it's my mentor said it. It's like people are looking for happiness in the same place they lost it. So you look for happiness in going out and drinking, but then you lose it the next day. Mm-hmm. You go out and do some, because I used to go to festivals and I would take some drugs and we would have this serotonin. We take Molly. We had this whole high of serotonin for 3 days and then I'm fucked for like a month. For a whole month, my serotonin is out. I want to kill myself. I'm like, bro, this is not fun. Like I'm having fun for 3 days, but I'm fucked for a whole month.
Yeah.
And that also taught me a lot. And the thing with pleasure chasing is we don't have enough people, and that's what I try to teach. But I'm like, listen, go get a workout. Go get a workout. It's the one thing we were given at any moment in our life that we can knock out a workout. You're gonna feel better, and there is no repercussion behind it. Anytime you leave the workout out of the gym, it doesn't matter what's going on. Someone fucking doesn't hold the door. Hey, don't even worry about it. Or when you walk in, someone cuts you off. Don't even worry about it. You know what I mean? Because you feel good. You just left the gym. You raised your frequency. You're good. You did something for your body. You did something for yourself. And that's what gives you a prideful life, something you're proud of. I tell people confidence. Confidence comes from doing the things that you know you should be doing and the things that are difficult. If you had utmost confidence, your life would be completely different. I ask people, I'm like, if you had all the confidence in the world, what would you do? Oh man, I'd go after this girl. Oh, I would go after this job. Oh, I would move here. Oh, I would do this. Right. So then why are you giving away your confidence to the drugs, the alcohol, the sex, the porn, to the food, all these things? It's hard. Of course it's hard. Nothing in life worth having is easy.
And I think, yeah, one of the reasons people have such a hard time, including myself, is the lack of the structure, the lack of the tracking, the lack of the planning. Because we've all heard like a million YouTube videos where people are like, David Goggins, like, you should be doing this, that. But a lot of people are like, okay, I know I should be doing, but how? So it's like, that's where the practical tips are, where it's like, wake up at this time, have like the calendar for you. It was like that tracking.
Yeah.
That's, I think, what's missing from all these, most of these motivational gurus, that there's no kind of tracking. I think that's like a missing part. Like, because people are not disciplined, so they need a system that's going to kind of help them stay in track, right? That's the problem, that they are not disciplined to begin with.
I think, for example, you can go on YouTube. I tell people, I'm like, yo, you want a meal plan, workout plan? It's not the only thing I do. If you want one, go on YouTube. You can find fucking macros. You can find things you're missing the application part. I tell people, I'm like, you're not missing the information. You're missing the discipline. So how do we get that? So when someone joins me in my program, for example, it's like, yo, let's start small steps. Here's the thing. A lot of trainers and coaches do that's wrong, and I believe too. It's they don't meet the person where they're at. Say, hey, you're waking up at 7, start waking up at 4. What the fuck? I can't do that.
Yeah.
And you're not meeting them where they're at. I'm like, hey, wake up at 7, wake up at 6. Okay, I can do that. Cool. Did you hit it? No. Next, tomorrow. Did you hit it? Yes. Good. Tomorrow. Good. You don't have that. You need somebody in your life. It's not just you. I've had so many coaches in my life, 5 or 6 coaches that I've all paid. I'm like, help me get to where I want to go. Help me get to where I want to go. Help me to get where I want. Because if you never invest, if you never put any skin in the game, you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. You keep trying to do it yourself. You can't do it yourself. You need somebody by your side. If Kobe Bryant could play basketball himself, he wouldn't need his coaches. Michael Jordan had coaches. Why do the greatest people in the world have coaches or mentors? Because they can't do it themselves. Because we have our own governor. We have our own ceiling. And so when people come to me, it's like, okay, do this. I'm holding you accountable. You're investing into yourself. You're putting something on the line. When you can't do it, you're not putting anything on the line. And so you're going to go to what you're really good at, whether it be business, if you're good at fitness,
So coaching is really kind of the thing that's missing more than anything.
Absolutely. You need somebody who's doing what you want to do or who's where you want to be. I only hire people who are where I want to be. I only listen to people who are where I want to be. Yeah, I like where you're at. I like how in shape you are. I like how much money you are. I like your morals. I like your value. I will only listen to you. I'm not going to listen to anybody else. If you don't have a good relationship, a good marriage, I'm not going to listen to you. If you don't have the money that I have, I'm not going to listen to you. If you're not living a life that I want to live, I'm not going to listen to you. Why? Because if you're not even following your own advice, then I'm only going to get as far as you got. I don't listen to anybody. I listen to very, very few people. 1 or 2 people, that's it. Nobody else. There's no point. And so when you're around, you look at your circle. Look at your circle. Who's coaching you? How much money have you invested back into yourself? How much money you invested into alcohol versus a coach who's going to tell you what the fuck to do? Sometimes you need to be told what the fuck to do. You need to pay for that shit. Because now you have money. Now you're investing money. It's like, oh man, like I'm going to lose this. Or I'm either going to get my reward or I'm not. And as we get older, we prioritize with our money, not our words. Oh, my health is important. Really? How much do you spend on a trainer, on meal plans, on workout plans? How much? Oh, nothing. So then health is not really a priority.
Exactly. Yeah, well, I mean, I think society, because I'm thinking like, we've basically been like so programmed, right, by TV, everything. School didn't teach us disciplines, so we're already in a handicap. So I think that's one of the reasons that coaching is so essential, because we are already at a negative, right? We already have so many years of bad habits, no education that taught us how to, develop these skills. School was just sitting bored as hell. It's like we're very underdeveloped as a human by the time we reach adulthood, where it matters. Yeah, we can know algebra and all this stuff, but so the coaching kind of it's that extra push, because by yourself you're not going to do it because you're too far off from where you need to be. It's like the gap is too huge.
Yeah, you think differently. You think people think that hard is bad. They think that a diet is like bad. Like, oh man, I have to get on a diet. You're calling eating good and feeling good a diet? But you call eating pizza, eating burgers, eating fast food normal? Think about that. People, the way people think, they're programmed to think a diet is something that is restricting me from enjoying my life. When in reality, like I weigh my food out. I weigh my food out even to this day. And people are like, man, that's weird. I'm like, you don't think it's weird that you're 20 pounds overweight? You don't think it's weird that you look in the mirror and you're not happy with what you see? You don't think it's weird that you pull your shirt out of yourself, or you don't like to take pictures? You don't think that's weird? Because I'll walk around with my shirt off. I'll take a bunch of pictures. I'll smile. I'll look in the mirror and be proud of myself. I don't find that weird at all, but you find it weird.
And it goes back to the point of the FOMO, of the wanting to enjoy life. We have that really ingrained in us. I don't know why. I don't know if it's society or what, but like we really don't want to miss out on the partying. We don't want to miss out on the food. It's all about we don't want to miss out. Why?
They're running from problems. Because what's the fastest way to feel better? To eat something or to drink something. That's the fastest. People don't feel good. Why do you think so many people are like depressed now, or they're anxious now? They don't feel good. I used to smoke a lot of weed. I used to wake and bake, and I realized no matter what my day was going on, as long as I got high, everything was good. But all I was doing was ignoring my problems and ignoring the message from God. God is like, hey, I'm giving you these problems because I want you to get better. Because the more successful we become, the more problems we have. If you want to be successful, all you're asking for is a bigger set of problems. Really, And so we use all these things to just run from what we're dealing with because we're never taught how to deal with it. We're not taught how to deal with our problems. And so a lot of people go into therapy now. But therapy talks about your problems. Coaching is about solving your problems. Let's take action. Sitting in a chair and discussing what's going on with you is not going to change anything. It's not until you move your body and you start realizing you get this high and you feel better. Now you can take better actions. Now you're taking care of yourself. I'm not saying a therapy is not bad, but if you sit there and just talk about it, I can talk about doing push-ups all day long. But nothing's going to change until I do push-ups. I can read about doing push-ups all day, know every single muscle about the push-ups, but I will never understand the real true feeling of a push-up until I do one, or the effects of a push-up. So you can sit there and talk about your problems with somebody, but you're never going to solve it. Not, oh, okay, cool, now my life changed. Because you have to go back to the first thing, which is your habits. Your habits are causing your problems. And I really believe that people just don't have a connection with God. I'm very close to God.
Are you Christian or?
I'm neither, man. But I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I make my coffee and I grab these two right here. I grab this book called Jesus Calling.
Nice.
I've read every single day for the past 3 years. It's a daily devotional. So every day I wake up and I sit here, I'll grab this, I'll have my Bible, and I'll highlight some of the things that it gave me the passage every single day for 3 years. And it's changed my absolute life. And I post about it every single day. I'm not Christian or Catholic, but I have one of the best relationships with God. He calls me at 3:40 in the morning. When I'm sitting there at 3:40 in the morning with this coffee, he calls me, and we have a conversation. And I speak to him. I tell him I got him. And I'll say this. The best way to get close to God is to eliminate all your vices. I haven't drank in a while. I'm drinking like 6 months. I drank twice this year. That's it. Eliminate anything that puts in your way clarity, takes away clarity. And when you wake up early and you speak to him, he'll guide you. Do this, do that, do this, do that. Say this. Say this. And so that's why I speak so much. Because I'm just a messenger. I'm an antenna. Every morning I wake up, I speak to him, he gives me what to say to people. Just like this talk.
That's awesome, man. I'm also kind of the same way as you. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I'm not a religious person, but tell me about that book. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Sounds very interesting.
Yeah. So the Jesus Calling book, man. I moved here almost 4 years ago, and when I moved here for 2 of my best friends and a girlfriend. And that relationship, I ended up horrible relationship. She cheated on me. I cheated on her. I was a horrible man, 100%. And I'll never forget breaking up with her. I had $300 to my name. New town, no job lined up, no college degree, only a trainer. I sat in this room. I just got done doing bodybuilding. And I'm sitting on an air mattress with my stuff in boxes. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do with my life? Like, I feel depressed. I just broke up with this girl. So I grabbed the Bible. And the only thing I had to do was like rock bottom. I'm like, what the fuck am I? I'm like, just grab the Bible. The only thing I know what I can do. And then I had a conversation with my previous coach, my bodybuilding coach again. And he's like, Alex, all God wants is a relationship with you. That's it. That's it. Just build a relationship with you and spread the gospel. I'm like, okay. And then I bought this book. And every day, it just gives me a daily devotional. It says, rest in me, my child, this time devoted to me. And that's it. It's just a little daily devotional, nothing major. And at the bottom, it has like John 15:13. And I'll go into the Bible. I'll do there. Then I'll get on my knees every morning, on my knees, and I'll ask for forgiveness. I'm like, God, forgive me for anything that I've done that doesn't coincide with what you want me to do. Help me repent. Guide me today. And every day on my knees, every day. And
that's amazing, man. I really believe that that's extremely powerful, and just giving your day towards God. You know, I mean, I've been undisciplined with that, but there's been points in my life that I've been like very disciplined, and but I think it's also helps so much just to have faith, just to have the trust that you're not alone.
It is, but I also believe that's why I don't go to church too, because everybody goes to church and they're like, okay, I'm like, and it pisses me off. I get really I'm like, how many times have you guys opened up the fucking Bible this week? How many? Please, how many fucking times? So to come here and just worship God but not do shit the rest of the week is like following a diet for one day and then eating like shit the rest of the day. Because all he wants is for you to have a relationship. Speak to me. Because what you're saying is everything else is more important than having a conversation with you. Everything else is more important than having a relationship with you, God, because I'm busy and I got to get things done. And you're not a priority of mine. My relationship with you is not a priority. So I'm not going to spend time on it. But when I do need you, I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you to help me. Please help me. Even though I haven't built a relationship with you, I'm just going to come to you when I need something. And so when he even says it in here, it's like, take time. You don't think you're being productive, but you're being the most productive when you spend alone time with me.
Yeah.
You're being way more productive than you can do a million things today, and it will not be as productive as spending time with me. Think about that. You will accomplish more in 20, 30 minutes with him than you can do in 24 hours. And when you look at it that way, you're like, yo, like I'm going to make the time. And when you start the day off with God, what you're telling him is guide me so I don't have to think so much. Guide me, because you're already giving me the answer. He has all the answers. He has the plan for you. You're just not reading the roadmap. You're thinking, this is my map. No, I got to play. They always say, there's your plan and God's plan. But when you talk to God, you guys are going over the same plan together.
Yeah, and I don't know, people can choose whatever word they want to call, you know, the source, the higher, you know, they can choose whatever word, but something
people
higher.
People don't want to call it God because they don't want to be attached to religion.
Exactly. And what I tell people is that religion didn't invent God, you know. It's like it has nothing to do. If you don't believe, if you think that the religion is the worst thing in the world, that has nothing to do with God. That's two different things. And if you don't believe in one, doesn't mean you don't have to believe in the other one. That has nothing to do with you know. It's like, because if you don't believe in God or a creator or a higher power, because you don't believe in a religion, that means that in some way you still are believing in the religion because it's affecting what you believe about, you know, the source. If you don't truly believe about anything about religion, then you should be open to seek, you know, some type of higher power because you're open to it because you don't believe at all at that. So I think it's important for people to recognize it. And I'm also very spiritual. I've been like super spiritual since I was 14. But it's a great way to live life. And like you said, God, you know, the source, they know everything. They know every single atom of the future, the past, every parallel universe, everything. Like, it is in your best interest to kind of put things in their hands, you know, and start to kind of see how that starts changing your life, because that's kind of the whole process, right? Kind of building that trust with
faith.
God. right?
Because most people don't say it, but they think it's like, I can't see it, so I don't really believe it. I'm praying, but nothing's happening, so I'm not gonna keep doing it. People think because they don't pray, oh, like, but I don't see anything. I asked for money, or I asked for a relationship. I asked for this, and he didn't give it to me. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, God is not like Santa Claus, right? It's not like
No, he's not. He's not, and that's why I believe people just don't make it a priority because they expect something in return because of what they're giving. I'm giving you my time. I'm asking, but you're not giving me anything. So why am I going to keep doing this? But hey, if I go and drink, I'll feel better right then and there. So I'm going to keep doing that because it gives me a result right then and there. But they don't understand that it's a spiritual thing. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening.
Exactly, and it's because we're so selfish and so self-centered. But God is not. God cares equally for one person as He does any other person. So He's not like He's gonna make you like a trillionaire. Like everything, it has to. Everybody is connected in the plan. And so it's like you're part of the planet and a part, but it's not about you. It's not. You know what I mean? Like
no, but I believe God doesn't have favorites though. I do. Here's why. If you had a son, 2 sons, and one of your sons came to you, like, Dad, I love you. You're amazing. Thank you for everything. Every day. And you have the other son's like, Dad, can I have some money? Here you go. But you have the other son, John, just keeps coming to you. Dad, thank you so much. Love you, everything. Boom. You're going to love both of them. But who do you think you're going to help out the most or appreciate the most? Who do you think is going to appreciate the most? Obviously, they're both your kids and you love them.
Or it's not that you don't appreciate them, it's that one of them lets you help them and the other one does not.
But don't we have to go to God? God comes to us.
Yeah, it's like many are called, few listen. So everybody is called, but if you don't want to get help, if you don't want to listen, then He can't, right? So He wants everybody the best for everybody, right?
I like that one, dude. I like that one. Many are called, but few listen. Wow.
Yeah, that's I think from the Bible. I don't know. It's not. I didn't come up with that, but
that's beautiful though. I've never heard that before. That's really good. For something to shock like that's really good. I like that. I see that because it's hard to listen to because there's a devil too. Many people don't talk about him, but it's a really good book. Highly recommended. It's Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, I've read it.
And it's the truth. You have to have the polar opposites. You got to have the polar opposites. And I believe that he's much more fun. He's much more pleasurable, and that's why people go to it.
More seductive, more
seductive. He'll find what's seductive for you, 100%. For me, it's not alcohol. It's not really drugs. For me, it's always been women. It's always been women, and that's been a big thing. Like women, porn. I stopped watching porn when I was 25. I'm 20 now, but I caught myself. I'm like, how am I going to get closer? And that's when I started getting close to God because of the breakup and things. I'm like, how can I get close to God if every time I do this, I don't feel good about myself? And I'm like, I know He doesn't want me doing this, so why am I going to continue doing this? And that's when I stopped. And that's a lot of things that guys will talk about. I'll talk about it all day long because it's my truth. It's my truth. And like once you stop doing that, you also get to harness the sexual energy that you have towards other things.
Yeah, 100%.
Towards other things, man. That's huge, man. Because it pulls at us.
So you do like retention and stuff like this? Sexual
sometimes, like I'm on one right now for like over a month, and it's
nice.
And it's difficult, man, because then my instincts take over. But I'm like, no, just drive it towards business, But again, that's the thing. If you can find what pulls at you the most, and you were restrained from that, that's where you build strength. I didn't come up with the saying, but strength comes from restraint. If you restrain yourself from that food, from the sex, from the porn, from the drinking, every time you restrain yourself, you gain strength. And you become better. It's all about becoming a better man. And when you don't do what most men do, it's not about doing more, my man. It's about doing less of the shit that doesn't make you better. If you do less of what every other man does in this world, you will become a valuable man. Just by doing less of what everyone else does. And obviously you want to add everything else. But if you can stay away from what most guys do, you already separate yourself from the pack.
Because it's a lot of what's wrong with, not what's wrong, but our difficulty in life is because we're doing these little things that are hugely bad. For example, porn, masturbation, drugs. Like, well, yeah, like you're not an alcoholic, but that 2 weeks that you get hammered, it carries on for the week. Or if you're watching porn every day, like those little things like are sometimes the root that makes like a domino effect with the whole, your whole life, your whole future. So it's like,
Yeah, because you don't feel good about yourself. Guilt and shame are the lowest frequency on a frequency chart. When I heard this, like when you jerk off, you don't go on Twitter or on Facebook. I just got done beating off. I'm so proud of myself. But you don't go yell that out because it's not a proud moment. It's not a proud moment. Everyone made it okay to do it in private, but it's not a proud moment. It's not like I got an A on my quiz, or I closed a big deal, or I just lost 20 pounds. You gloat about those things because those are something to be proud of. That's not something to be proud of. You're shameful about it. It's difficult to say no to it, though. And that's with anything else. If you do things that don't make you proud, make you feel guilty and shameful, then you wonder why people are anxious, they're self-conscious, they're awkward, they have social anxiety. You're just not proud of who you are. Like I walk into a room like, hey, nice to meet you. Who are you? Nice to meet you. I'm Alex. I'm on.
Yeah.
How can I help you? How can I help you? I'm like, I'm proud of who I am. I'll look you dead in the eye. What do you want to know? I have nothing to hide. What's up? Because I'm not doing shameful things. I'm doing things that only make me proud. My food, my workouts, my wake up time, my job. I'm proud of who I am. And if you're not proud of yourself, you're building guilt and shame. If you can stay away from guilt and shame on a daily basis, you will become more proud, which ultimately you become happier. I don't focus on happiness. Am I proud of myself? Yes. Let's go.
Because you carry everything you do, you carry with you.
Everything.
It's like you've watched, some porn, whatever, like that's in your vibe, that's in your subconscious, that's in your...
Mm-hmm.
And when you meet people like, because I used to be like that, right?
We all of us, brother.
Especially like the modern guy, right? Where we're born with the porn on our hands, like, and they tell us it's natural, they tell us it's healthy, whatever. So why wouldn't you do it if they tell you cures cancer, colon cancer? Like, I can beat off, watch all this porn, and it's gonna cure. I mean, why not? It's of course after you're miserable that you realize like how bad it is. But when I was younger and I was like a porn addict, like probably almost everybody is.
Every guy.
You wonder sometimes like why do people react negative to me? And then once I become porn free, and I've even done retention like that. My longest streak was 9 months. And once I like become like really like pure, like that I wouldn't even think lustful thoughts, I wouldn't even look at women in the street. And suddenly you realize like everybody treats you amazing. And then you're like, wow. So when the world was treating me bad was because they saw something in me intuitively that they did not like. Right?
You were treating yourself bad.
Yeah.
You're treating yourself bad. The world isn't how it is. It's as you are. Like I said, if you're pissed, everything around you pisses you off. You're pissed off, everything pisses you off. This, that, what the fuck, everything. But when you're in love, dude, think about it when you're in love. When you're talking to a girl you really like, man, I'll skip down the road. I don't give a fuck. I'll skip down the road. Hey, you want to get through? Get through. Don't even worry about it. I'm fucking in love right now. I love this girl,
Yeah.
So you weren't doing things that were shameful. You were doing things that made you proud, made you happier. And so everything else around you saw the happiness. You saw people treating you better. But when you weren't treating yourself good internally, externally it showed up.
Exactly. And then when I was like in this state, I would see people that I would have like a negative feeling towards them. Because I just remember this guy came deliver some food, and I was like, I felt like disgust at him, and I felt like this, and I realized like, wow, this is how people used to see me, right? So it's interesting that we get attached to our identity, but it's like that's just our actions. So everybody can be, both sides of the spectrum. We can be the lowest life form that everybody hates, or we can become our highest self that everybody admires and respects, right? So it's like, but it's all dependent on us, what we do, how we decide to live our life, right? So that's kind of exactly.
People have a discipline problem.
Yeah.
That's all. It will always come down to discipline. Can you say no when you're supposed to say no? That's the biggest. That's why discipline is key. That's why when you decide to pick a wake up time, when you decide to work out, when you decide to eat a certain way, all you're doing on a daily basis is practicing discipline. So when Friday night comes and you've made all these discipline movements, it's like, no, I'm going to stay home and I'm going to say no. I'm going to say yes to my meals. Friends want to go out? No, I'm disciplined. we're all missing a discipline problem. People don't have an alcohol problem; they have a discipline problem. People don't have an eating problem; they have a discipline problem. Same thing with the relationships. You're not disciplined enough to stay committed, to listen, to be that man for that significant other. Like, I'm single, but I'm focusing on becoming the man that my wife needs, that my children need, that they can look and be like, I'm proud of this man. This is my husband. This is my father. That's why I work so hard on myself now, because I want to be a proud husband and father one day. So they can look up to me. And when you become that man, they come. You don't chase. Be, come. Be, and then it comes your way.
Nice. I didn't know that. I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, everything. And that's why it's so important. Words. Think about spelling, spells. Words are spells. And in life, you want to become. You never want to chase. The man that chases 2 rabbits catches none. The book from The One Thing. So when you learn on becoming the person, everything else comes into your life because you are changing your vibration. You're changing who you are, your energy. Think about when you're negative and you're feeling pissed, everything just seems to not go your way because that's what you're letting off. And that's why I believe the burpees. I learned this like 9 months ago. Raising your frequency. I'll be seeing things. I'll have doubt. I'll have fear. Alex, you're in a low state of frequency. Do 150 burpees. I'll do 150 fucking burpees, 200 burpees. I'm like, man, life is good. I feel great. I'm back up. I'm good. Now I can act. And that's why I'll work out twice a day. I'll work out in the morning and then I'll drop some burpees.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it could be right here on this floor because it changes the way however you're feeling is what you're going to attract. You're feeling negative, you can only attract negative things into your life. If you're feeling positive, you are in a vibration of positive things. So the minute you catch yourself in a negative state, realize, okay, if I'm feeling negative, I'm only going to bring negative things into my life in this moment. So I need to change this frequency ASAP. What can I do right now? Burpees, push-ups, whatever. But if you ever catch yourself in a negative state, understand, I learned this from Bob Proctor, you cannot attract anything positive into your life when you're feeling negative. And it's just a state of mind. You can't think your way out of it though. You can be like, no, everything's good. No, you're just in a low frequency. Raise your frequency. So I'll do that in the morning. I'll wake up negative sometimes. I'll go hit my workout after my prayer. I feel so much better. That gives me some time. Then around 2 or 3, I might really knock out some fucking burpees. Or I'll talk to a client. Or I'll get on TikTok Live and I'll start spewing. I'll get into flow state and I feel so much better about myself. Because I'm giving people positivity. But when I get into my head, I'm like, I need this, I need that. Oh, I don't have this. Desire is a low state of frequency. Because you're not deploying gratitude. You're not grateful for what you have. When you're just, I need this, I want this. No, get out of that mindset. Hit a workout. Feel better about yourself. Now I feel grateful. I'm enlightened. Oh man, life is good. I have my dog. I have my apartment. I can breathe. Okay, now life is so much more different. Help somebody out. Like if you're feeling bad, go help somebody out. I'll get on my thing. Hey guys, keep pushing, keep moving forward. No matter what's going on in life, you got to keep going. All right. And then I'll feel better because now I'm giving away what I want back. I want to feel better. Guys, keep pushing forward no matter what's going on. If you're not feeling too well, get some fucking burpees. Do this no matter, you feel me? I'm giving people what I want in return, which I want to feel better.
Yeah, because one thing that I've realized about humans is that we are so, like, our brain has like this, I don't know what, a mechanism that it just thinks however we feel like, and it justifies however we feel like, and there's no way around it. So it's like, if you can master, like, if you master like your emotions and your flow state, like you're saying, like then your brain suddenly like starts going that way. But if you're not feeling right, then it's extremely difficult to do the right things when you're feeling wrong, right? So it's so important to, like what you're saying, to raise that vibration with the action, with the biology, right? With the
discipline. I don't feel that good. And when you don't feel good, you definitely don't want to fucking work out. I know, I definitely don't want to hit these fucking burpees. Hell no, I fucking don't feel good. I feel like I need this for my business. I'm not getting this. I don't want to do these burpees. But I know if I do them, I'm going to change the way everything in my life is. I tell people burpees changed my life, and they can change anybody's life. Getting that workout in, whether it be in the morning, it doesn't matter. It will change your life because your life is the moment that you're in. That's why right now, me and you, we're in flow state. Time is passing without us knowing. That is flow state. When we're supposed to be doing what we're supposed to be doing in life. But when we're like wondering what's going on, this, we're not in flow state. That's not optimal. We're in alignment with what we're supposed to be doing. So when these 2 years, you're like, I put off for so long, there's fear. But then that's having faith and like, this is what, now look at you, look what's happening. You're doing it and you realize all these doors are opening because it was your calling. It's been your calling. We all know what to do. We all know what to do, but the only thing that gets in our way is fear, doubt, and our undisciplined self. We have the answers. We have God inside us. I read this the other day. The same source that raised Jesus from the dead is within you. And I'm like, whoa, get out of here. I'm like, damn. And we forget that.
Yeah.
We have all the answers in here.
Totally. Yeah. Wow. Whew. That's I like that one. Yeah. And I think a lot of it as well is just the homeostasis, right? Like we don't want to change state, and that works for us and against us. When you're in a flow state, you stay in the flow state. When you're not in a flow state, you don't want to go into we don't want to change our kind of like state. It's a homeostasis, right? So it's like that's why it's hard to start doing the burpees, but then once you're in that new state, then it's going to be hard to get back into the couch, right? So it's like It works both ways, right?
And that little bit is where discipline comes in.
Exactly.
It's getting yourself to do what you know you should do, not what you want to do. That's what discipline is. And it can start as simple. I tell people, we're going to set you up with the discipline. Start waking up at this time. And you're going to miss at times. You're going to fall off the horse. I haven't fallen off the horse. But you're going to fall off the horse. But get back on it. And once you reap the benefits of it and you realize how much it's changed your life, people just don't do things long enough to realize the change that it makes in their life. I told myself, at least for the next 5 years, I'm going to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. At least for the next 5 years. I'm at 9 months now. I don't plan on going back. I don't plan on sleeping in. I don't care what it is. I'm going to keep doing this because it's been such a life change. Just same thing with you, 4 a.m. It's still great. Life changing.
Yeah.
We're called for more. That's why. And when we go against that, our life is in shambles. We don't feel that great. Because we're called to do more. We're called to help more people. And I believe everybody is. But they drown that voice out with the alcohol, with the drugs, with all these things. People don't look at their problems as their level up. Because your level up and my level up will never come packaged the way we want it to. The way we're going to grow is not going to come the way we want it. It's going to come the least way we want it. But that's the whole point of it. Because we haven't learned that lesson. Life is always testing us. Life is a complete test. Everything. That person's testing you. That deal that didn't go right is testing you. That workout's testing you. That alarm clock, everything's a test. Oh my God, I'm so angry. You're being tested. Man, I'm starving. You're being tested. Are you really hungry? Are you starving? Or is this you finally learning to be disciplined? What are you going to do when you're hungry? That's why I love being hungry. I'm hungry all the time. But it makes us aware. That's what being hungry is so good, because now you're not hangry. You're just alert. You're ready to kill something. And when you can take that energy and pour it towards your business, you're unstoppable. Same thing with sexual energy. Man, I want to fuck something. No, take that energy and put it towards business or your workout. Yeah. That hunger, go knock out a workout. And that hunger. Even Tony Robbins says it. The number one thing for success is hunger. You want to be hungry. I'm fucking starving, but but it's helping me. I'm losing body fat. As long as I keep my protein good, I'm losing body fat. I'm sharp. I'm awake. But when you're full, you're satisfied. You don't want to do anything. You kind of want to just chill. And that's the thing. When you eat too much, we want more. When you jerk off once, like, I want to do it again today. When you have a taste of pleasure, we're the only species in the world that constantly wants more. So that's why it's so easy when you can't just have one beer. Can't have one shot. Can't have one hit. Once you have the first hit, you want more and more and more. And that's why it's so common not to even try to. Because now we're just setting ourselves up like, I can't just have one. Yeah,
and it's the brain, how the brain we overpowers us, right? Like it's
when you don't have that discipline, because you're not practicing discipline. A brain overpowers you when you don't practice discipline, when you're not conscious. You have to be able to step back. What are you doing, bro? You're about to go do that. And you know what's going to happen. People aren't conscious. They're walking zombies. And I forgot what book, Self-Esteem, talks about being consciously aware. It's like they're just not thinking. They're just going. But when you take a step back, a 3,000 foot view, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, 3,000 point view, bird view, what are you doing? You're about to go do that. Don't go do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You gotta be wise to understand like the power of the brain, because it's like what you're saying. Like if you eat a ton, let's say you have a ton, right? Your brain is satisfied. You don't have that hunger. You have to understand that you can't overpower that somehow and then become the most driven person in the world. Like the brain we have to respect the power of the brain and kind of use it towards like a tool, because we can't have everything. Like you have sex all day, watch porn all day, eat all the junk food.
Yeah, you're gonna feel like shit. Yeah, you're gonna feel like shit too, because you're going for that instant gratification. The more we keep at bay our basic human needs, the more hungry we are, the more laser focused we are on what's important. Like I don't sleep that much. I'll sleep 5 hours a night, maybe 4 sometimes. But I'll be tired, but I'm focused on the goal. I'll eat like 1,500 calories. I won't eat that much. And I'll work out twice a day. And then I'll work all day long. I'll do more with less. But because I'm so focused. People are like, how are you functioning? Like, you're not getting that much sleep. Like, you don't eat that much. My motherfucker, because I'm not out here drinking. I'm not out here fucking drinking sodas. I'm not out here eating crappy food. I'm not out here not working out. You guys are doing things that drain you. I'm not doing anything that drains me. I'm doing everything that I put into my body. It gives me energy. I'm in the sun at least twice a day. I'm constantly getting vitamin D. I'm working out. I'm not jerking off every single day. So I'm harnessing sexual energy. I'm feeding my body good. The sleep that I get is adamant. Like I put my head to my pillow and I knock out. And then I wake up. So I'm not tossing and turning. So I'm optimal. I tell people, cut the shit out and you'll realize how much more energy you really have.
And nothing is more draining than being depressed and bored with your life. So it's like once you have like that enthusiasm, that energy, like that's like being high. That's like your body suddenly doesn't need that sleep. Suddenly you don't have like the what do you call it? The bags under your eyes. Like it's happened to me sometimes where I'm like haven't slept for like 2 days, but I was like so high on life that you don't even look tired. So it's like there's the mind that overpowers somehow the body when you're enthusiastic. It doesn't need to sleep that much. It's just you're running on that energy. And if you're like depressed, sad, bored, then you can sleep the 8 hours, but you're still tired.
Yeah. You're tired because you haven't done anything. You're tired of not having purpose in life. That's why people are like, I need like 7-8 hours of sleep. I'm like, you're not excited about life.
You're not using that soul energy. Like
you're not exactly. If you want to sleep in, I heard this from my mentor. If you want to sleep in, it's because you don't attach your meaning to life to something bigger than yourself. You're sleeping in because you care so much about just you. I'm waking up because I need to take care of other people. I go to bed and wake up. Okay, now I got to show my 3 o'clock. I got to show people I woke up at fucking 3. I drank my coffee and I hit the gym. I haven't missed. And how does it? Because when they see that and they're deciding on going to the gym or going out to drink, it's like, fuck, Alex woke up again. I've had people call me like, bro, like you're waking up and I'm just getting home. Fuck, and they feel like shit.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, dude, how are you doing this? But it makes them think. That's why I don't fucking miss. That's why I post. So because I know they see me waking up, they see me going to the gym, and I write some stuff. They're like, fuck, Alex is right. And I've had them hit me up like, bro, you changed my life. Thank you so much. Like, you motivate me. Don't stop doing what you're doing. You never know who's watching. That's why that's why I post my day all the time. Because I need to lead by example. If I'm a coach, I need to do more than my clients, my followers. I need to do more than them. Leaders do more. And if they see me doing more, they're like, I can do maybe half of what he's doing. And even if you do half of what I'm doing, that's still better than what you're doing now. But I have to lead by example. I want to be a leader that doesn't tell people what to do. I want to be a leader that people follow me because of what I do.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, and that gives you that energy, that gives you that drive, that purpose, that excitement, that That's
You don't
why
think
you
God
don't.
rewards you? God rewards you for that because you're taking care of it. You're doing it. You're doing the job He's meant for you to be doing. He's like, you're taking care of my other children. You're being a great example to my other children for what they should be doing. You're giving back to them. And it's the law of compensation. I've had people hit me up that have changed their lives, but they haven't personally paid me for coaching. But it doesn't matter. It's the law of compensation. God doesn't see that unnoticed. And I don't work for anybody. I only work for God. Like, do the job like you're working for God. It says it in the Bible. So I know I'm changing your lives. God is, one day I'm preparing and one day my opportunity will come. That's what I tell myself. Every day I will prepare and one day my opportunity will come.
What do you mean by that?
As I keep growing my business, I keep helping people. As I become this man, I might not close $1 million deals today. I might not like close a bunch of clients or build something. But I know if I keep doing what I'm doing, becoming the best man I can be, it's just a matter of time before I meet this person is like, and they're just blown away by me, or I meet the right client or something, and it just opens the door for me for more avenues to help more people or to build something because of my daily practices. It's like a business. It's like you're watering this plant, but nothing's happening. But you know you're doing something right. You know you're doing something right. So just stick to it. And one day that will sprout. And that's all you could. But that's the thing. People give up because they don't see it. But you have to have faith that what you're doing is right. Because what's the alternative? Go out, drink, have fun, have pleasure. That's what I'm talking about. What am I going to do? And there's days I want to quit, man. There's days I want to fucking quit. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Because I'm not seeing it. But then I remind myself, the man who enjoys running more will run further than the man that just wants to get to the finish line. I don't want to be the man that just wants to get to the finish line. And there's times where that happens to me. Am I trying to get to the finish line? Am I just trying to reach this goal of a certain number or a company and then just stop? I'm going to be honest, it happens to me at time. I'm human, man. To admit that I don't have flaws like that is to admit that I'm being fake. There's days where I'm like, bro, how long is it going to take me to get to where I want to go, man?
Yeah.
And then I remind myself, shut the fuck up, gratitude. And I tell myself, gratitude. Because that's low frequency, desire. Gratitude. Thank you, God. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I know I got my dog. I got my this. I got food in my fridge. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Go right back to gratitude because that is the way to speak to God, is to deploy gratitude. So I always go back to that.
Yeah, I love that. And one thing I was thinking right now, a quote that I love about Steve Jobs, I saw in one of his old videos before Apple, when he went back to Apple, and he was kind of having the, rebuilding Apple, and he was saying that, we're going to do the right things. We're going to do the right processes. We're going to do everything right, and that's going to create the best result.
Yeah.
So I love that because and I was saying in my previous episode, that's the law of cause and effect. If you do the right things, the effect is going to be right. If you do the wrong things, the effect is going to be wrong. It's cause and effect. You do that, and it's through time. So it's like not only today you have to do cause and effect, every day the right cause, and over time, all those causes are going to build up to an effect. And if it's the right actions, it's going to be the right effect because that's the law of cause and effect, right?
Yeah, you're right. We and that's the thing about the law. We have to remember them. The law of compensation and like the law. There's so many laws, man. And like we. Awesome.
No, that's awesome, dude. It's been awesome talking to you, man. I love your energy, man. It's been a great episode. We went like really deep into spirituality. I love that, and God, I love that. So tell us about your coaching. What type of coaching you do. Tell us about all that, and of course your website and all that stuff.
So right now, honestly, I just launched literally like yesterday, and I'm actually promoting it today. It's classes. So I used to teach a lot of classes back in the day, but I stopped that. I did a lot of one-on-ones with my gym. But now my gym is a membership. I like the online space, and I have an online coaching program. But one thing I noticed with my online coaching program was a flaw in it, is there were a lot of people were separated. Like I had clients, and I would work with them, but we weren't all connected. I didn't like that. I'm like, I don't like this. I'm like, what can I do? So I realized a lot of people couldn't really get into my mid-level program, which is $299 a month, $750 for 3 months. And that where you get a meal plan, workout plan, and communication with me. But a lot of people really couldn't do that, and some of the people. And I also realized a lot of people were beginners. And so I made a program which is $47 a month, where it's burpee. There's 4 classes. 2 of them are burpees, and one of them is boxing, and another one is burpees and boxing. And so the reason I wanted to coach these classes is because I love beginners. I love people who aren't really into the gym yet, but they're struggling to get into the gym. Because I used to be there. And I get to show them what has changed my life. I get to show them what's gotten me through some of the hardest moments of my entire life. The breakups, no money, lost. And I know that if I felt that way without it, I know that's how they're feeling. And if I can give you the opportunity to just try this out, just give me one shot. Let me show you how beautiful and how much this can change your life. And I'm doing a bigger service than I ever thought I could do. Because the people who are in the gym already, it's great. I help you out. Macros, things like that, I got you. But the people that are struggling the most are the ones that haven't found it yet. That haven't gotten the strength or the courage, or they're scared to just do it. And if I can show you what can change your life and make you have the best life from here till you die, then that's gonna impact more people and me than anything. And so now I'm teaching these classes. It's on Zoom, so I don't care where you are. As long as you can make it to the times, you'll be able to train. And so it's $47 a month. The first 2 classes are for free. Come in here, just give it a shot. If you can't do a burpee, don't even worry about it. We modify it. This guy asked me earlier today, but what if I don't have knees? I'm like, then you can't take the class, man. You don't have the knees. He's like, no, my knees are really bad. I'm like, don't worry about it. We'll fucking make it work. That's not the point. The point is the mentality of come in here, find a way to make it work. I'll modify it for you, but just show up. Just show up, and you're going to realize how amazing this is. And so I started doing that, and then I get my mid-level program. Because once you get in there and you start realizing how good it is, it leads me to another situation where it's like, damn, now I want to learn how to eat better. You know, and that's my mid-level program, which is $299 for a month or $750 for 3 months. And there, I'll do your macros, the whole thing. And that's why I stopped doing one-on-one personal training. Because one-on-one personal training is, I'm your Uber. You don't know how to drive. So you're paying me every single time just to drive you around. And you never really learn. You never stick to it. I've had clients who've gotten results, they left me and they didn't stick to it. Because I was doing all the work for them. So now with my online coaching, I'm teaching you how to work out on your own. I'm teaching you how to actually measure your macros, how to eat, how to weigh your food out. So by the time you're done in 3-4 months, you're never going to need another program ever. You're going to know how to work out. You're going to know how to eat for the next 40 years. And that way I become your driving instructor as opposed to your Uber. I'm teaching you how to drive. I'm teaching you how to eat. I'm teaching you macros. I'm teaching you how to work out so you can do it for the rest of your life. So as you get older, you start going to birthday parties, you can figure things out on your own. That's the best thing I can do for you, is teach you what I know. You do it, me hold you accountable in a good group of people. And that's the biggest thing in this community that I'm building now with the class. Come take a class. You're not feeling good that day? Come take a class with me. Let's do some fucking burpees. I'm already doing them. Come take a break. And that's the beautiful thing I'm doing it too. People in that level can also be like, Alex, I'm not feeling today. Come and join a class. You know I'm going to get your ass in fucking shape. You know I'm going to fucking motivate you. And they'll jump in and we'll have a great class. And yeah, they can just reach me on my Instagram, @AlexDuenas. That's my handle on Instagram.
Spell it out, please.
H-E.
D-H-E?
Yeah, TheAlexDuenas. And that can go for TikTok and Instagram.
Say it one more time, please.
@AlexDuenas.
Perfect. Either way, I'm going to put everything in the description, but sometimes people don't, the description doesn't work in some places, so it's good that...
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, on YouTube too. I have a YouTube channel too. It's almost at like 6,000 subscribers. So.
Nice. It's the same YouTube name?
Yeah, you can do the Alex. Yep, same thing. It's for my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Yeah.
And I love that the price is accessible, because I think that's, even for me, like sometimes, we don't have that much money and somebody's like, they motivate the hell out of you, and they're like with this huge price that's like way.
I used to do high ticket, bro. Like I used to do high ticket. Bro, I've had clients who pay me, like when they do one-on-ones with me, it's either $1,500 for the month or $4,000 for 3 months. And I've done high ticket, man.
No, I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm saying when you want to do it and you don't have the money, like I'm all for, people charging as much as they can, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you don't have it and then sometimes that is an excuse, right? So $47 a month, everybody can afford it. And I mean, it's going to change your life.
And here's the truth, bro. Here's the truth of the matter. Some people are going to pay it and some people aren't going to attend. That's just how it is. And all I can do is keep posting my content. That's why I post every day. I post every day on Instagram, TikTok, and I post 3 times a week on YouTube. I don't fucking miss. I missed once this year on posting on Instagram. Only once. But I posted every single day this year, sometimes 2 or 3 times on Instagram, on my feed, and on my story I post every single day. I've only missed once. Because I'm showing people the value of consistency. I'm not going to miss. You'll find me on YouTube Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You'll find me on TikTok every single day on my feed. And you'll find me on Instagram on my feed. So every day I'm hitting people with motivation, inspiration, workouts. I'm showing them that it's possible. So even if you sign up and don't come, you already follow me. You're going to jump on one of my videos and that's going to, oh, fuck, I need to get back in the class. Or I need to, that's why it's so important for you and I to always post. Because you never know what someone's going through that day. And your post comes up, and that's the day they decide, I'm going to sign up with you because I'm going through a breakup. I'm going through a divorce. I looked at myself in the picture. I'm so upset. I can't believe it. You never know when it hits them. You just happen to pop up. And that's the opportunity they take. But if you don't post, they're never going to find out.
Yeah, totally. No, that's awesome, man. And yeah, and it's also, you're showing them an example because it's like the idea of, we're the average of the people we meet. So if they see like you every day in a way, they are kind of, you're part of their circle. So that's also affecting them in a way.
Oh, I get messages all the time like, bro, I love your motivation, bro. Your videos are so inspiring.
No, that's awesome, bro. Well, thank you so much, man. It was a pleasure. And we'll keep in touch, bro.
Absolutely, bro. Dude, I need to get your Instagram. Tell people what's up. I might not. Bro, great fucking podcast with this man. Everything is all